Well, hello and welcome. A very warm welcome to one and all in the 57th episode of the Masterclass series, The Soul of Lions, brought to you by Lions Club of Mumbai Soul, Leo Club of Mumbai Soul, and Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam, and ably supported to us by Property Anthem India Limited and Khanville Resort, Silvassa. We are also truly grateful to our partners, Lion Mohan Soni sir from Chile, South America, Lion Lata Avtani ma'am from Dubai, and Nirmal Jain sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, our mentor, Lion Dr. Rajamanwani sir, is traveling again and hence would not be able to join us for the show tonight. So, apologies from his side. However, we are here with yet another enthralling episode of The Soul of Lions. Over the last 56 episodes, we've brought to you lions who have created a global impact throughout their service and fellowship activities and taught us the meaning of living truly selfless lives. Now, ladies and gentlemen, on the show tonight, we have with us two incredible personalities who have been the flag bearers of Lionistic movement and the true personification of leadership right from their commencement into the Lionism till date. The very essence of their personalities is what will surely leave you spellbound after this particular episode. Well, moving on, our first guest for the evening is one of the most venerated individuals around the country as well as worldwide, a leader in the very true sense of the word. She is a distinguished lion who has propagated the message of excellence and leadership through sheer example. She commenced her Lionism journey in 1991 with the Lions Club of Seashore. Owed to her diverse and progressive personality, she was bestowed upon numerous integral posts in the Lionistic fraternity, right from being the club president to the district leadership positions to national coordinator, Lioness conventions, and all the way up to the very helm of district governorship. She was distinctively also the first female governor from Mumbai, which in itself is a glowing tribute as well as an inspiration to women power. During a stint as a government, she did projects to uplift the downtrodden worth more than 10 crore rupees and also held the record of opening 32 new clubs while also conducting grand fellowship programs with legendary artists such as Pankaj Udas, Anup Jalota, Bhupi Mitaliji, Hossain brothers, and many, many more. She also collaborated with Talas Aziz ji for cancer and thalassemic patient projects and turned fellowship into service also. She was one of the other distinct lions who actually did Raksha Bandhan projects at Indo-Pak borders, considering and basically propagating a value of a lot of friendship and brotherhood. Post a governorship, she's taken the trainings of all India governors of lions all over the world. Well, owed to her unimpeachable work, she's been received a lot of various honors on club, district, as well as multiple levels. From the International Lions Fraternity, she is a woman of multifaceted genius. Professionally, she's a lawyer of high court and arbitrator, and also an eminent industrialist, while being an individual who has been society welfare bound by the honorary secretary of all 6 minority communities of Mumbai. She was also the founder chairman of GIVO, Jain International Women's Foundation, a motivational trainer to engineering and MBA institutes, and a social worker who holds streets plays for awareness of organ donations as well as drives for blind association. Well, if that was not all, in addition to this, she's also mastered the art of living, the Osho techniques, Brahma Vidya, crystal therapy, and so many more, which I would keep mentioning and the show would absolutely end. She's also a Reiki master and is associated with the legendary Dalai Lama and Sri Sri Ravi Shankarji, and many more legendary existences. Even after such accomplishments, her philosophy of life still remains that she has miles and miles before she goes to sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute privilege for me to call upon the multifaceted genius, past GAT era leader, Lion Bhavna Shah.
Thank you so much, Navdeep.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Well, it's an absolute honor for me to host you tonight because while preparing your profile, I was just baffled as to if I'm actually preparing the profile for one person or a person who's or multiple number of people because so many things that you've actually done in one particular lifetime is just baffling. Well, to
Thank
start
you,
up the
Navdeep.
show,
You're so sweet, and indeed, it was a great introduction. Thank you so much to you and Raju Manwani, whom we all respect as a past international director, and I'm very happy to be on the show.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Well, to get on with the show now, well, you have a multitude of achievements in your life. Although it would be fascinating for all of us and also all our viewers to actually know the leader, Lion Bhavna Shah, from the very childhood days of her beginning, the entire journey of what you've gone through. And I believe it's been a big roller coaster ride that you've gone through in your entire life. So I would just like you to kind of familiarize our viewers with regards to how your journey has been.
When I was age of 14, it was a shock of my life. In fact, before that, 3 days back, I just declared in the house that I'm taking sannyas, that is Jain Diksha, because I had it all. very rich father's daughter. We had enjoyed our life, and every Saturday, Sunday, we would travel wherever. And half of the world I had already seen when I was a baby. And I used to pick up the car according to my clothes color. We had 6 cars, and I was at Pedder Road, 15th floor, and then we had shifted to Walkeshwar. And the moment we shifted to Walkeshwar, somehow I got very connected with our Jain religion sadhu. And every day I would go and follow those rituals, and in that somewhere I felt that I've had it on. Let me see the other side of life and how it is like living it all. And I wouldn't be able to leave it one by one. So one night I just told mom at 12 in the night that I'm leaving everything. Tomorrow morning, don't tell Papa, he will not allow. And I'm renouncing the world. And I'm moving on with white clothes and without chappals. I would be walking and asking for bhiksha like a Buddha, and would be leaving on bhiksha. And moms are moms, so she already told Papa in the night only. Night at 12:30, we had to leave that house and shift back to Pedder Road, because Papa never wanted me to take sannyas. He thought that me crazy, she is staying at Walkeshwar, she will do all this. Let's go to materialistic world to Pedder Road, and 15th floor where we had this 8-bedroom flat and living like, queen. And as usual, you'll forget what Viksha and Viksha was. So it happened. But in no time, in 1 year time, Papa expired. So somewhere I realized that whatever destiny does, it's for good, because I had siblings who was 8-year-old, 10-year-old, mom was just 38, and Papa had expired at age of 44. So it was a big responsibility. And wouldn't I have been there? Probably I wouldn't have realized. Because till then I had not seen pain. Losing Papa for a daughter was the biggest pain ever. And the journey started the different direction altogether. Then becoming a lawyer and all that started, So from extremely a saintly feeling to I went on to absolute great youth, to college, to, the Lala Lajpat Rai, because being Pedder Road to Lala Lajpat Rai was hardly any distance to early CFIS. And in that I was known as a Zinni baby, because then I had that long hair and I was like in a mini skirt and long boots. Forgot that this Bhavna was ever going to take a Diksha, And from there, I went to GLC, Government Law College, where I became a lawyer. And there, somebody saw me down my building while coming back, and then men declared that this is the woman I'm going to marry, or I will never marry again. And I didn't have time to even fall in love, because I had back home to take care of mom, was going to office, taking Papa's jute business. Papa was a jute king. And when he expired, Ahmedabad, Baroda, Calcutta, and Mumbai, all jute companies were closed to pay him respect. And mom's great-grandfather was like a king, Mulun. That Javed Road was on mom's great-grandfather's name. So she is known as a princess there. And at that time, my great-grandfather had called the architects from Germany and Italy to plant the whole Mulund city. So government inaugurated his statue when 100 years got over to Nana. And Javed Road is named by my great-grandfather. So even some of the A2 lions, my R.V. Shah or Surendra Bhai or somewhere, they'll tease me saying, oh, princess has come off Mulund, princess has come off Mulund. Marathon builders are my mama, and that's how the half of the properties there we still own. From there, all of a sudden, since childhood, I had this saintly feeling and was very, more than religious, I was more on a spiritual side. So Jain Guru, Nair Padma Sagarji and Sadhvi Manashri ji asked me that why don't you join in Jain religion? I'm Jain, basically. So started that GIVO, that is Jain International Women Foundation. So became the founder member, and we started calling World Women Achievers for awards at Delhi. So we would every year women achievers, we would give them the award. We called even Nilofer Bakhtiar from Pakistan, who was the first woman international director in Lions International. She's like a sister to me. So from there we started, and all of a sudden I came across to one of the sannyas in Vedant from Osho. And I always wanted to meet Osho. Papa used to go to Osho. Papa was a Rotarian. But at that time they said that you can't go women, and he does that, hypnotize women, and women all go following. So I wasn't allowed to go, but I used to listen because Papa used to listen his lectures. And all of a sudden I met this Vedanji, and Vedanji made me go through the his dynamic meditation and his Kundalini and his Gurdjieff dance meditation. And where all of a sudden I went into a deep trance, and Osho came and out of his graveyard. I had till then, Navdeep, never visited Osho ashram. I had never visited Osho commune. And I could see the white marble, green lines, and Osho coming out of ashes, and he wishing me happy birthday to you. Bhavna, you're reborn today. And that ever was my brush with meditation. And it was very strong. And after that, I never realized it. I went to Imratai, to Abu, I went to Brahma Kumari, I went to Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, Bangalore, I went to Dalai Lama, to Dharamshala, and then I went to Italy for regression therapy. I went to Germany to walk on a fire. I became Reiki master. Then when I went there, I met Paula Horon, and all of them were with me, the co-participants, and I was the only one who was in Philadelphia doing the course of how to make your baby's genius. So I don't know whether I've done it. Just path started. Once you are on a meditative path, on a spiritual path, it seems that the energy takes you there. Now, I never planned. If you ask me, so many people, when they read my CV, they say, how could you do it all together? I mean, I was in college, and all of a sudden one fine day they asked me to sing, and I sang, and I got a gold medal in singing. I don't know. I used to sing even for satsang for Sri Sri Ravi Shankar with Madhavanji and with Raghu and all of them. And then we went to elocution competition, all the intercollegiate, and Premchand Kahani. And I just said कि दुख भाववाचक संज्ञा नहीं है, क्योंकि तुम कहते हो कि दुख को छू नहीं सकते. देखो, मैं तो दुख को छू सकती हूँ, बिकॉज पापा नहीं थे एक बेटी के लिए, तो जैसे मैं दुख को छू रही थी, और दुख को छूते नहीं तो भाववाचक संज्ञा है, तो दुख भाववाचक संज्ञा नहीं है. From that I won the gold medal in the Premchand Kahani, and from there to intercollegiate badminton and sports yoga, everything I was closest to. From there I went to classical dance. There the Guru Shishya Parampara and Guruji fell in love with me. I had to leave. Then I went for guitar and guitar show. Again there something happened. I did the show at Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan and Boli Surat Dil Ke Khote, which I experienced in life. All of a sudden, that all men which came with a Boli Surat were not that Bola, But that's how the journey took, as you are asking how it took.
It's absolutely fascinating.
No,
it's absolutely fascinating to hear that, yeah.
No, when Papa expired, there was a story which changed my life, and it was like there was this Sandeep Maheshwari has told this story, and again I came in touch with, which put me, because at age of 14 you didn't realize, and you realize so much responsibility was around, and 3 days I was absolutely unconscious. And I didn't realize that Papa's body was taken and was burnt and everything, because I remained unconscious. Till the body went out, I was conscious. After that, I don't remember 3 days, because I saw Mummy breaking the bangles and all that. And that had played such a big role in my effect in my mind, that I just didn't want to wake up. So probably consciously, I was unconscious. Okay? I didn't come in senses. But then there was a story which I read, that there was a competition of the best painting, and the title was the Peace, the picture which depicts peace, and I was in a turmoil. So I was looking out for peace. And this story touched me so much. And again, when Sandeep Maheshwari said, again, it put me back to peace within. Because too many things when I went into public life, again, I went through a turmoil, because I was coming from a very protected family where without car and a driver, I wasn't supposed to get out on roads. I have never traveled by buses or trains. So till today, I wouldn't know roads. If this system of GPRS wouldn't have come, I wouldn't have driven the car, because we were so pampered. And all of a sudden, I came in through Lions in a public life. And then everyone was eyeing at you as a woman, as a young I was very young when I came into Lionism, and within 10 years of span, I became first woman governor. So again, that young women were not supposed to become a governor. People becoming old and then becoming governor, because by that time you've had it all and have it all. And
Yeah.
people think that wisdom comes with age. Well, they don't know at 14 when you lose your father, oh, wisdom is forced upon you. You're not even trying to be wise. And at that time, I read this story. There was a competition about the picture depicting peace. And there were like all over the world, because 10 million was the price tag. So all over the world, people had come to paint and get that prize money. And there was one blue sea, blue sky, and the water being still, and the sunlight was all of a sudden coming, and people thought this would be the peace. And there were mountains, and there was green jungles, and the birds chirping, or probably the birds around, and the all the animals like the lion and tiger and the cat and the monkey sitting together. They thought probably this was the peace, and that would win the prize. And then all of a sudden, they chose one painting, and it was undercover. And when they opened it, everybody was shocked that this can't be the depicting peace. And they thought probably there's a mistake. So they went and said, judges, by mistake, you've put some other painting. This couldn't have been the painting depicting peace. So they said, why? What's the problem? Wait till we declare. And then they said, in this turmoil, where one side was fire taking place, one side was a cyclone, and in that, in between, there was one hut, when there was a man who was standing near the open window, and there was so much peace, like a Buddha, serenity on his face, and he was smiling. And they said, if this is not peace, you're looking peace outside, peace has to come from within. And in all this turmoil, if you can be so peaceful, then probably this picture depicts peace, who's not searching peace outside. Oh, that hit me so hard when I'm speaking, the goosebumps come here.
Yeah.
And then I said, I need to be peaceful inside from within. Then I can probably spread that peace outside to mom or to children, to brothers, sisters. So that story changed my life, Navdeep.
That's pretty fantastic to hear. I mean, it's been one of the most fascinating introductions that I've actually heard about your life, and obviously, you going through ups and downs. Obviously, it's something which has been a journey of a lot of redemption, and at the same time, a lot of resurrection that has happened through your life. So it's fascinating to hear. Generally, most of us actually understand the lionistic bit of a person's life, and we actually call them to the show. But it's really heartening to actually hear what an individual goes through and still, commits themselves towards lionism. So it's fantastic. One of the questions I actually had with regards to lionism specifically was post you doing the governorship and achieving what you said in a mere span of a decade and stuff. You took up training, right? Now you have trained leaders around the world, in India and obviously around the world and stuff, as you said. So my question was that when you actually impart training to all these leaders around the world, is your approach different as compared to on the basis of demographics? Say, for example, you're giving training to people in India, line leaders in India, and at the same time you're giving training to people in line leaders back in the US. Or say, for example, a minority affected area, or a plague affected area, or places which don't have that much amount of resources. Say, for example, South Africa or something of that sort. So how would you actually, do you customize your trainings with regards to going to different places around the world, or do you continue on the same basic structure that is set by the Lions?
Not that it can never be same, because Africa has a different problems. America has resources, but they don't have peace. So there I would go on more meditative way of outbound training. And in India, we have a lot of poverty line, below poverty line people being there. So I would go for more check dams kind or organ donation kind training, or site first, or street children vocational training, which we did it at YMCA and all that. And Wagah border, if I would go and talk about something else. When I went to Pakistan, their training was totally different, because there, Pakistan, I couldn't speak about India and their fights and all that. And the most surprising thing which happened in Pakistan, those men never dance. They expect women to dance, and women also don't come out beyond burqa, and they don't dance. And you'll be surprised, I started now they're saying that till every man doesn't come on the floor and dance, I will not start my training. And then literally 15 minutes didn't come on the floor. On 15 minutes, I didn't start my training. And after they all came on the floor and they danced, I said, I mean, sometimes you also need to entertain women. It can't be women entertaining men all the time.
Absolutely.
So it was different. It is customized and it will be different as per the requirement of the area. Like when I went to Turkey, at that time I was supposed to talk about the women membership, because in Lionism in '86 they started recognizing women as lion. Otherwise, till then they were lioness.
Yes.
And we also roar. We are not only in the four walls of the kitchen. We come out in jungle. We come in corporate world, and we do roar. And when we roar, well, you better hear, because we are here to make a difference. And we
Absolutely.
surely, without making a noise, we are making difference silently, and surely we are paving a path for women achievers to take over. Osho always used to say that if the leadership of the country is given to women, there will be less wars and there will be more peace, because they think from heart. And
Absolutely.
people think that they don't have brains. Brains are in their feet, but no. It's just that they like to keep that aside, and with the right brain, with creativity, they like to bring in the solution. But I faced gender bias. Oh no, I faced a lot, because at that time I was Mumbai, the metropolitan city, and still they were not ready for a young woman to take over the leadership. They had not
Yeah.
seen women leadership. But it was beautiful to take up that challenge and finally achieving to become a first woman governor. But when I became, there was another story which I was already married. I already had kids when I was taking up this leadership. And there was a story about that a girl failing in IIT exams, and she coming and going in a massive depression. And then father took her to the kitchen and said, let's boil this eggs, this potatoes, and this coffee. You must have heard this story. And then after 15 minutes, he switched off the gas and he said, what difference do you see? She's saying, oh, it's all same, it's boiled. And everything is boiled now and it's come. And then he took out all the water and he got that potatoes and he said, see, they were hard. And they all were given the same temperature. And see, now the potato lost its strength and became soft. Eggs became more harder because they became tougher with the heat and the problems and the fire around them. And then see, you take a time to break that egg. And coffee changed the color of water when coffee was put in it, and the aroma started coming out. So either you change the world around you to see it the way you want it, or you break down and give up. I had two choices, but I chose to be a coffee and turn the things around.
Absolutely. That's fantastic to hear. One of the major things I actually noticed in your profile is that you were last year the G80 area leader. Now, G80 area leader obviously encapsulates responsibilities as membership, as well as service, as well as leadership. So, is there anything that you would specifically like to mention in terms of the initiatives you took for all these three processes that are associated with G80 area leadership? Anything on that?
I mean, this year also they've given me GET area for MD 3231. Internationally, I'm a GET area leader this year also. And plus, I'm contesting for the post of international director, which I was doing it 15 years back also. But as I said, that women always had difficulty in getting it. But this year, let's hope with God's grace, probably we achieve that. Thank you, Navdeep. And in GET, I just recently we donated cardiac unit ambulance to JJ Hospital, where Anuradha Podwal came and gave the show free, and we could do it. I want to take up check dams. One of our past governor, Deepak Chaudhary, is doing fantastic job, where 3 crore of liter water for 20 years to whole village, if we can give, where women, children, the girls walk for 5 hours and get 1 pot of water. That hurts me. I mean, I don't serve with sympathy, but the empathy comes within me, and I put myself in that place, and I feel if I had to walk for that 5 hours, I wouldn't. And the poor children can't even study because they have to ultimately, finally, somehow feed their family. So I'm taking this check dams very seriously, where farmers don't do suicide. Plus, we have the organic farming, where health is become issue after a pandemic. We need to look into that too. And at the same time, we can start sending them children, and we have 100% literacy with Rotary. We are, yesterday only I was with one of the Rotarian governor, and he has taken up the 100% literacy program, where he has given us the call that let's Lions join and make India 100% literate. So probably as gap area leader, I would like to take up that. One of the closest to my heart, the project is about the organ donation. I mean, 3 lakh death happens because of our organ failure. And there's so many deaths. We feel that after death, we should go in heaven, so we should be burnt and buried. I don't believe in that. If while alive, you have not done any mangal for anybody, your family's mangal is not going to let you go in heaven. So let's create heaven on earth, then achieving heaven after death, because you don't even know after death where you go. So I am going to make it very serious that I'm planning with RTO. When 18-year-old, they give the license, they should take an oath that they should donate their body. So somehow, if I can sit with somebody and with higher authority and take up this organ donation, then I would like, when being an international director, I would like those doctors coming and training our doctors in India, where we can possibly make the system easier to donate our organ. And with the scheme donating, when the burnt girls, you know, this acidic acid attack and all that. So I want to, even Masina Hospital, we have given that 35 lakh from Lions International to create this ward, burn ward, more on a higher level, so that we treat this kind of cases, you know. So these 3 are closest to my heart, that is check dams, organ donation, and the hunger.
Absolutely.
So I want that literacy, from where the hunger automatically goes, will be byproduct, because when they are literate, they don't have to beg, they don't have to ask for.
Absolutely, it's fantastic to actually hear about these 3 projects. More heartening for me to hear, because at Lions Club of Mumbai Soul last year, we actually adopted a village, as you said, with regards to a check dam. And we also did 365 days of hunger projects through one of our Lions, Lion Dr. Anant Vedyanathan, who actually conducted a 365-day hunger project. And also with regards to organ donation, you'd be really, really happy to hear that most of the Leos in the organization, 3231, A3, and in fact the entire multiple, have taken up a lot of projects with regards to organ donation awareness, and I think it's a great initiative that should be taken up by a lot of people. So fantastic to hear that. Ma'am,
we adopted on multiple level is RA Colony with Sudarshan Nair and Ramaswamy.
Yes, the Mission RA.
So Mission RA, now my Leos of Khalsa, which my club, Lions Club of Manvi East, have started the branch of Leo Club of Khalsa, Prathamesh being the president. We have started painting those walls. We already Warli painting, we did it at Matunga Women's Station also. So now we will be adopting. And there is Miss Jane, with whom we are going to part with Baijus. So Baijus will give them the education. With paints, we will be doing the paintings. And the plastic which we will be taking over, with Bisleri we are signing, we will be giving them the roof of a plastic. So Ms. Jain is coming with us, and we are signing the MOU with Bisleri, Baijus and Solar Energy. So we will be taking up this RA Colony. As GET area leader, I want to concentrate on RA Colony too.
That's a great initiative, man. That's fantastic to hear. Just a little bit of thought. You've been the honorary secretary for 6 minority communities. I just wanted you to shed a little bit of light on that particular project.
Monica, the Jain Muni, who wanted me to work towards this minority, because we call them minority. Actually, if you ask me, there is no minority. If you want to take the benefit and you want to say that you are in minority, well, I don't think so. We should go for that and ask for special seats or special benefits. Let the right person get the right place and right position, which I always believed in. It could be anybody. Even if a dog is right for that place, then dogs should be made to sit. And
absolutely. Everything based on merit.
I mean, I have a different, and I'm too honest and too bold and outspoken, and women are not expected to be that. So when I became a governor, they said, "Chudiyan pehne walon ko leadership में नहीं आना चाहिए, kitchen में रहना चाहिए." So I said, yeah, those were the days when things used to happen. Now women have taken role to play a very, very, very big role. We have a lot of responsibility. If from our womb we created the world nowadays, it's time we create the kind of world we want to see.
Absolutely.
I mean, we just can't sit and cry why it's happening with women, why we women, why poor me, poor me. I have no time to cry. I have miles to go before I sleep.
Absolutely, ma'am. So that's fantastic to hear. Finally, just one last message that you would like to give to all our Lion viewers as well as the non-Lion viewers who are actually watching the show today. I'm 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 absolutely sure that they must be like really really inspired by a story. So, just one last message for all of them.
Navdeep, I believe we all are born with our unique ability. What Navdeep can do, Bhavna cannot do. What Raju Manwani could do it, Bhavna cannot do. What Bhavna can do, probably Meeta cannot do. We are so busy in becoming somebody that the being which was born with beautiful flowering, we're crushing it. So I'm not being and I'm not even becoming. So I'm in between getting crushed. So now is the time to actually celebrate your being with what unique ability you have. Just locate, find out, go have an introspection and find out what you are born with. Make it more beautiful. And with that ability, be one of the color of the rainbow and create the rainbow in this world, not only in the sky of our organization of Lions International, who gave us such a beautiful platform to make this world a better place. Because I always believe, Navdeep, we have not inherited this earth from our ancestors. Yes. This is with us for our children. And you better leave it better world for them than living so much money that probably they won't even have oxygen to breathe to enjoy the money which you live in will. So absolutely. I want everyone to play with their unique ability. आपकी अपनी किरण लेके तुम आओ, हर एक की किरण का एक नया सूरज मैं अपने आसमान में उगाना चाहती हूँ, जहाँ से न तुम तारा बनो, न तुम चांद बनो, न मैं सूरज बन के राज करूँ, हम सब अपना तेज लेके आए और एक नया सूरज से एक नई गोल्डन हिस्ट्री अपनी कंट्री की, इंडिया की, अपनी वर्ल्ड की एंड अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की मैं लिखना चाहती हूँ सबके साथ.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That's a great message. And on that note, I'll just ask you to stay backstage for a bit so that we can finish off introducing our second guest for the show. And I'll definitely call you by the end of the show. So please stay backstage for a little bit.
Sure, Navdeep. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am truly elated to have had such an amazing conversation with our past G80 area leader, Lion Bhavna Shah, ma'am. And we, all of us at Lions Club of Mumbai Soul leader, Lion Bhavna Shah, ma'am. And we, all of us at Lions Club of Mumbai Soul, as well as the entire Soul of Lions team, we thank you for being on the show and teaching us the value of diligence, dreams, and dedication. अरे बिल्कुल बिल्कुल बहुत ही अच्छे प्लान्स हैं और मैं काफी खुश हूँ और मुझे लगता है कि ये सुन के एक्चुअली बहुत सारे क्लब्स प्रेरित होंगे वो करने के लिए जो आप कह रही हैं. तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका स्टेज पे आने के लिए हमारे शो पे फिर से. प्रदीप, कैन वी गेट ऑल द गेस्ट्स ऑन बोर्ड? कुछ लोग मिलने भी आए हैं आपसे जो कुछ बात करना चाहेंगे. प्रदीप, जितने हमारे गेस्ट हैं सबको प्लीज स्क्रीन पे ले आइए. प्रदीप, यस, भावना मैम नहीं.
भावना दी को देख के तो मेरी हिम्मत आई यहाँ पे आने की.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. प्रदीप जी, भावना मैम अभी म्यूट पे हैं. मोहन सोनी जी, आप मोहन सोनी सर से शुरू करते हैं. तो मोहन सोनी सर, आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे आज के शो के बारे में?
थैंक यू नवदीप जी. आप सबको और व्यूअर्स को हमारी नमस्ते, जय झूलेलाल. आज आप हमारे शो पर आए, बहुत अच्छा लगा. आपसे इतनी बहुत सारी बातों की जानकारी मिली है. थैंक यू, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
थैंक यू मोहन सोनी सर. मोहन सोनी सर कॉन्स्टेंटली हमारे सपोर्ट रहे हैं सोल ऑफ लायंस के इनिशियल एपिसोड से लेके आज तक. सो थैंक यू सो मच मोहन सोनी सर. मीता मैम और भावना मैम, आप दोनों बहुत ही कमाल के गेस्ट रहे हैं. आई थिंक वन ऑफ द बेस्ट एपिसोड्स रहा है ये सोल ऑफ लायंस का. और मैं एक्चुअली बहुत खुशकिस्मत समझ रहा हूँ अपने आप को, क्योंकि जो 2 एपिसोड राजू सर एक्चुअली होस्ट नहीं कर पाए, वो दोनों एपिसोड्स में दोनों वुमेन गेस्ट से, तो मैं बहुत ज़्यादा खुद प्रेरित हो गया हूँ कि women leaders are actually doing so well in the world. तो मैं आप दोनों को बहुत ज़्यादा congratulations wish करता हूँ, and lots of wishes from our entire team of Soul of Lions. आप दोनों बहुत अच्छा करती रहें जैसे आप कर रही हैं, and आगे बढ़ें. And thank you so much again for coming on to the show. Thank you.
नवदीप जी, भावना जी भी हमारी प्रेरणा स्रोत है। उनको देख के हाँ, वो जब हमें लगा, जब कल बताया राजू जी ने कि भावना एंड मीता आ रहे, हमने कहा और अच्छा हुआ कि भावना जी को पहले लिया तो कुछ सुना, कुछ समझा और करते हुए। तो चलिए 2 शब्द गीतों से इसको खत्म करते हैं कि जो हमने अपने सॉन्ग को खुद हमने लिखा और हमने उसको आवाज दिया। हालांकि आवाज अभी इतनी अच्छी नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी हम चाहेंगे कि चलते चलते ये आप लोगों को तो सुनाई दे। लायंस में सेवा को हम दिल से करते हैं, पावर टू ब्रिंग हैप्पीनेस हम गुनगुनाते हैं। सेवा करें, करते रहें, अच्छा लगता है। लायंस में हर सपना अब सच्चा लगता है। लायंस में सेवा को हम दिल से करते हैं, आँखों की सुरक्षा करके, हाँ करके, अंधेरों को रोशनी से भर देंगे, अंधेरों को रोशनी से भर देंगे। धरती नारी को शिक्षित करके, हाँ करके, धरती को हम हरा भरा करेंगे। फिर सेवा करें, करते रहें, अच्छा लगता है। लायंस में हर सपना अब सच्चा लगता है। लायंस में सेवा को। Thank you.
Meeta, you were very good. I was so happy the way आज आप बोली हो। मैं सालों के बाद आज आपको इतना दिल छू जाने वाला तुम्हारा परफॉर्मेंस था। मीता इज लाइक अ यंगर सिस्टर टू मी, नवदीप, एंड उसके हर मोड़ पे आई हैव बीन to Katni and to Korba to see that she becomes governor. So in
that's
her
fantastic.
In her journey,
absolutely great.
I always support women. That women
totally
need to come up, and she
and I am also
great. And my mother was my stotra. My mother at age of 14 till today she has never cried. And वो अगर मुझे इतनी ताकत देके इतनी आगे बढ़ा सकती है, तो मीता और सब अगर बनारस से आते हैं या the way they come when they are not allowed to study, मीता ने बहुत लंबा सफर बहुत ब्यूटीफुली कवर किया। मीता, I'm very proud of you and मुकेश, वो दोनों।
Thank you so much, both of you.
And Raju को we missed. Raju is doing fantastic job with the Soul and all the Sindhi community, and really you get us to know so many. हम लोग time management राजू से सीखे हैं, and with that we are performing, but telling we missed him, but with Navdeep also was great.
Thank you ma'am, thank you so much. Well, that was basically one of the best episodes that we had, the 57th episode of Soul of Lions. And until next time, I guess all of you guys must be missing Raju sir, as our guests also were. We'll see you next time in the Soul of Lions again, and thank you very much, both of you, for coming on the show and making it yet another memorable one. Thank you.
Now there's 75th Independence Day, and ulta karo to 57, so somewhere we have to be with our independence.
Totally.
चलिए, बहुत थैंक यू नवदीप जी, बहुत बहुत थैंक यू। और हमारे राजू मनवानी जी को भी कि भावना दी के साथ मुझे साथ में लाके खड़ा किया। वो कहाँ उतना, हमने कहा कि चलिए हम साथ में खड़े। बहुत अच्छा लगा। थैंक यू भावना दी।
Thank you viewers. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode of Soul of Lions. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.